As from today, Kenya is mine. It's my giant of Africa.
Who is the giant of Africa?
We're the giants of Africa.
I don't think there's any country in Africa that is inferior and one is a giant.
I don't care what your dictionary is telling you. I don't care what your Google is telling you. I don't give a fuck. Yes, I'm a Nigerian, but right now, Kenya has won my heart.
Is Nigeria still the giant of Africa, or Kenya is about to become the new superpower of Africa? I am leaving that question to you. You let me know what you think in the comment section. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Natskunda Esther. If you are new to my channel, welcome. Please consider subscribing, like, comment, and share if you like my content. And to my already standing subscribers, mwah, guys, I love you so much. Now into this video. Kenya and Nigeria have caused a lot of controversy on the internet.
The only thing that the Nigerian youth is proud of is his useless Android phone or iPhone and the data and the TikTok account.
I am Nigerian and I'm saying that Kenya is the new giant of Africa.
In all this, I think South Africa must be in the conversation, because when we talk about the America of Africa, there is no one else who can claim that apart from South Africa. So I'm even shocked South Africans are not into this conversation. But anyway, according to Google, if you go to Google and search who is the giant of Africa, Nigeria is the giant of Africa. And Kenya is the pride of Africa. Kenyans and Nigerians are exchanging words over the position of who is the giant of Africa. And this is what some Kenyans had to say.
Y'all can sing. Y'all don't have electricity still? Yeah. Do you have a national carrier? We have Kenya Airways. You have?
This is what some of the Nigerians had to say.
Nigeria, the reason why we do not have electricity is beyond the fact that we cannot do it.
We're huge representatives of Africa and what it brings to the world. When I was doing high school in Spain and people talking to me about Burna Boy, I'm like, what you know about Burna Boy?
Saying Nigeria has the best music, I do not buy that. What we are supposed to say is Nigerian music is the most hard-working industry in the whole of Africa.
We can see that music is feeding your artists, because many of our artists here are struggling.
But ladies and gentlemen, let us react to this video of Cruz about who the giant of Africa is. But before we go any further, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to say one thing and one thing only. Africa, the more you waste your time fighting over who is the giant of Africa and who is the smallest of Africa and who is the pride of Africa and who is the horn of Africa and who wants to dethrone who are we giving power? The person who put the borders for us. We are giving them power. The more we battle between the positions that we want to dethrone from each other. Anyway, let's get into it.
Nigeria is the giant of Africa.
Why is the nation giant? When you say something is giant,
That's the proper question.
what is the definition of a giant? Weight, size, power, and
Resources.
basically, right? Population-wise, nobody beats us.
Yeah.
Manpower, nobody beats us. Talking about technology, as much as every other country has technology, we have the biggest electronic market in the world.
Yeah.
In Africa, sorry. These technology companies that are building stuff everywhere would firstly consider the Nigerian market before building anything for Africa.
Wherever a Nigerian is not, that there is no resource there,
That's
there is
a
no
fact.
business. And
That's
it's
a
true.
fact, you
For a
know.
Nigerian to step in somewhere means that
There's something
they are looking for, and they will find it.
You know where you see Mexican Nigerian?
Yeah,
This one
British
everywhere.
Nigerian.
Jamaican Nigerian,
There is Nigerian mixed with
there's
everything.
Chinese Nigerian.
If you go to Mars,
There's Nigerian
you
mixed
just
with
might
everything.
find a Nigerian. You just might find a Nigerian. Of course, we always like to act like we're the big brother of whether that's West Africa or Africa as a whole. But 1/5 of every African is a Nigerian.
I think in egocentric much.
Oh no,
Egocentric much.
I'm not even hiding it.
No, because I don't think there's any country in Africa that is inferior and one is a giant. And that's subliminal messaging from the West to make you think, because in what regard? If we're talking about minerals, Democratic Republic of Congo.
That's true.
Up there, right? So in what regard? Y'all can sing. Y'all don't have electricity still. Let's strive to have a more cohesive continent than imagine in our heads that we're better than others in the room. Do you have electricity in your country?
Yeah,
I've never
we
even
have.
been, and I know.
We just
Really?
don't have
24 hours. Yeah. Do you have a national carrier? We have Kenya Airways. You have?
To have like 2
You have?
We have Epis.
I beg.
we have not national. It's a private.
So in what regard? I feel like there's subliminal messaging that has to keep you guys and your egocentric selves thinking, assuming, so you'll never come to the table on a level playing field mentally. You assume you're better than others. That's actually the only issue I ever have with Nigerians. You feel superior than other Africans. And I'm like, y'all can sing. Entertainment, you knock it out of the park, period. Okay, maybe in the loving too.
And I must say, you can never find Nigerians struggling. I'm just going to say that Nigerians are smart. My take on this, ladies and gentlemen, Nigerians are smart. Nigerians are clever. You can never wake up and tell me to hate a Nigerian. When they love, they love. Guys, African people, we work hard. But the devil works hard, but Nigerians work hard. No one can convince me otherwise. Meanwhile, this entire conversation is going on. I am asking myself, where is South Africa in this? Because, ladies and gentlemen, according to moi, South Africa must be in this conversation.
Please step forward if you agree with the prompt. Nigerian men are more romantic.
Let me show romantic. No, Nigerian men, sit down.
Okay.
Nigerians don't have a moderate button. Anything you do 1,000. If a Nigerian man wants you, he'll make it known. What I like about your men is there's no beating around the bush. There's no bush. Yeah, there's this guy who used to come outside my college and just park there. And first I was mortified. I was scared. Then I was like, that's how these guys are. Like, they make their point known. They go after what they want. And I think that's what maybe we like. Kenyan men take that as aggression. Kenyan women are as forward, not as forward as your women, but we like that.
I think also it's the culture. I like the culture in Nigeria where the role of a man and a woman are very well defined.
Yeah.
And there are things women never do. Like, I remember my first time in Nigeria and I was with a client of mine and he was my client. I remember getting to the car and he'd open the door. And then I shut the door. I was like, I have hands. I can open and close my door. So I was struggling with that. We'd go to a room, he'd open the door. I was struggling with that. I'm like, first of all, you're my boss, why you open the door for me? And then when we got into the car after 2 days and he said, you must have had a difficult childhood. And I was like, why would you say that? He said, because you don't allow yourself to be a woman. And then from there, I started observing the culture there. And like, even when you're carrying heavy stuff, someone will come and help you. There are certain jobs, especially I've seen this in the North, where it's only men who do, women are not allowed. So the roles are very clear and a woman is allowed to be a woman and you're not shamed for that. You're not shamed in Nigeria to even be a housewife. A man is expected to take care of his family, spoil his woman. While here in Kenya, the culture is a bit different.
And it's not weak for a man to show his feelings because our men believe it's weak. In fact, they call it simping. They say, go and be simped for by those Nigerian Yahoo boys. Let them go and simp for you. And I'm like, why is loving a woman simping? I think our men need cuddles.
Then when I came to Kenya, my God, even some men I like interacted with in Nigeria, they're all sweet. And then someone likes me and I know they like me, but I can't be the first person to move. So I'm waiting. And then he's like, oh, I love ladies who are hardworking. And I'm like, what do you mean you love the ladies who are hardworking? Can you just tell me? Say, oh, I think I like that about you. And they're just going through the corners. But I know what they want to say. Yeah, and they are not the kind to give gifts.
No.
Nigerian men, once they say I love you today, tomorrow they are, and especially if they have money. Tomorrow they are sending some money and they're everything. So they are the ones who even make women look like they're materialistic because of how they've created, the atmosphere they've created for us.
As a young girl who lived in Dubai, and I know how much on market Nigerian men are. I lived in South Africa and I know how on market Nigerian men are. Let me tell you, South African people, I'm not trying to anger you today, but let me tell you, apart from the entire notion of South Africans and Nigerians, they have that little beef nyana of theirs that is ununderstandable. Nigerian men win every day, every single day. Yo, find a Ugandan girl in Dubai and tell her to date a Ugandan with this a Nigerian child. Nigerian wins immediately. I first told myself, if I'm to date again, your girl has been single for like 6 years now, but like if I'm to date again, but they always say Nigerian man, you find a Yoruba demon. You find a what demon? Why Nigerian men are called demons now? But yeah, if I'm to date an African man again, like yeah, I will literally want to date a Nigerian. Let's continue to the video, y'all.
But I think Kenyan men, we are romantic too when we choose to be romantic. Most women tend to misunderstand us. Also stood back because I wanted it to be interesting. I mean, it would be so boring if all of us were here saying, oh, Nigerian men are romantic. Also, it would hurt my ego. I mean, I am a man and I have my own ego.
Kenyans have a better speaking accent than Nigerians.
One thing that I am pretty much sure of is that I do not tolerate an African person who literally just drops who they are and their Africanacity and their accents just to be like westernized and like have a proper English accent. Like me, guys, I will come here because I know like I have a diverse audience like around the globe, and then I will speak like in my English. But child, if I speak my broken English, you must never judge me. Me, I am not white. You accents. Yeah.
Kenyans don't get overexcited. So for me, it kind of feels safe. I remember the first time when I went to Lagos, I used to take paracetamol, Panadol, like every day because I wasn't used to all the shouting, the hooting, then the shouting, even when someone is seated next to me, and they also still have to, let me tell you now, my arm, please, my shoulder. And then the way they have to stress words. And I noticed, like, even when I would go to a place, they would get a little bit pissed off with me. And they're like, could you please say it again? I'm like, I'm trying to say, speak up. We can't see it. What's wrong with you? Are you unwell? I'm like, no, this is how I talk.
When you meet a Nigerian in a professional setting, there's no pidgin in the room. It's just when you meet in an informal setting when I'm like, are you intentionally making it hard for me to understand what you're saying?
Imagine you're saying, okay, let's create a Nollywood scene here. The father says, give me my medicine, right? And he said, Dad, I'm playing video games. Give me a minute. You will not kill me.
Yeah.
I like it.
So before you kill me, I'll kill you first. All he's just saying is, you're wasting my time.
Yeah.
Get me my drugs.
Yes.
At first, I was like, nah, I beg to differ. The Nigerian accent is just far better. It just has more, flavor.
Corruption is more prevalent in Nigeria than in Kenya.
Yeah, guys, I'm African and I'm Ugandan. If it's not corruption, then what is it? Like, we will not even go there because corruption in Africa. Yo.
Let me first clear the air. We are corrupt too, to the point where even the Western world tagged us the third most corrupt nation in the world. They say Nigerians are scammers. Nigerians are this, Nigerians are that. If you look at the stats, Nigerians are not even top 3 scammers in the world. Nigerians are not top 4. We don't sell drugs as much as Mexicans or Colombians. We don't scam as much as Jamaicans, even the Indians or the Chinese.
The Asians, the Chinese.
Yeah. Like we previously said, we're loud.
I agree with that.
We proudly...
Because you're the loudest, even in a classroom. The loudest person is always, I'm very loud and I'm small. So I'm always, when people are rounding up the usual suspects, of course, they're going to suspect me first.
Exactly.
So it's just because, plus you're very bold.
Yeah.
You're bold and your potential is more visible than maybe any other country. I'm not saying you're in any way better than anyone, but I'm saying you stick out. In music, in sports, of course, I would want to keep you.
Yeah. So that's why we are more popular. Yeah. Do you know that every other African, the first thing they see in Nigeria, they'll be like, okay, are you sure you're not going to scam me?
419.
I'm telling you.
I was in the airport. I've been to 5 airports. I've so many times wanted to throw away my Nigerian passport.
Bro.
So many times. But still, it's those who are watching from the outside that will think Nigeria is corrupt. I came to Kenya and I was like, we tried.
Can't say I know too much about this topic when it comes to corruption. Yes, Nigerians are corrupt. But even, I think so is Kenya, right? But it's just because of the misinformation that's typically spread about Nigeria. Whether you meet, let someone meets me, oh, you're a scammer, or someone tells me, a snake swallowed this amount of cash. And I'm like, you don't even have your facts, you know, but, and I don't want to say that Kenya is more corrupt than Nigeria. Like I said, I don't know enough, you know, but in a country like Kenya, from my experience, money talks. Yeah. There's nothing you can't do. All you have to do is just slip someone 2K, you know? So, yeah, like I said, I don't know too much about it, but
maybe less.
But there is corruption, yeah.
Kenyan food is undoubtedly tastier than Nigerian food.
Our food is mostly to feed hunger. It's not aesthetically appealing or taste-wise. We just cook like for convalescents, like sick people in hospital.
Does Kenya have food? Kenyans, please don't come for me. But all I'm trying to say is I lived in Kenya for 4 years. Na chakula yenye nilikula ilikuwa tu githeri, alafu ugali, minji, matumbo. Yeah, that's Ugandan food. But like, no, I take it back. Kenya has food. Yo, I fear Kenyan people. Kenya has food. But like, you understand what I'm trying to say, huh? When I lived in Kenya, niliishi Mlango Kubwa. I used to stay in a place called Mlango Kubwa, and that's one of the worst slums in the entire country of Kenya. And for me, it was very convenient. Like she said that the food is like prison food or like poor people food. For me, even if it's said like that, I found eating easier for me in Kenya. Most especially because when I used to go to Mama Mbogas and then they could just give me like sukuma wiki mob. You understand? So like, yeah, I really do appreciate that. And actually when I came back to Uganda, I really got to appreciate kaunga, like the posho, much more, because when I lived in Kenya, ugali really was there for me. And hey, mawiki, yo. Now, on the topic of Nigeria makes the best music on the continent of Africa, I am going to say without no doubt, I appreciate what Mzansi is doing, but Nigeria, halas, like, let's not even talk about it. Let's not even beef about it. Let's not even go any further about it. Niger, on the top. From my point of view, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, I will want you to tell me, what do you think makes Nigeria the giant of Africa? But from my point of view, man, apart from the music, apart from the population of Nigeria, apart from everywhere on this continent where I have gone, I have found Nigerians. And I never find poor Nigerians, yo. Like, yo, Nigerians, man, there is a way Nigerians, they have a rich heart. Those people don't like suffering. You find a Nigerian in your country. In Uganda, we say, a Nigerian, they would rather die trying than failing to try. I will befriend a Nigerian any day of every day of my life. When I lived in South Africa, I saw how Nigerians are very entrepreneurial. Like, those people would start a business regardless of what. Man, I really feel like Nigerians really work hard. They're hardworking. I feel like they are go-getters. I feel like they have like a lion spirit. Like, yo, no doubt, I appreciate Kenyan people, but Nigeria for me still stays the giant of Africa. Now for Kenya is my second home. Kenya raised me from when I was 20. No, South Africa raised me from 20 to 27. But niliishi Kenya from the age of 16 until I was 20. Kenya felt very friendly to me. Looking at, because most people are weighing this Nigeria thing in Kenya from the point of view they answer corruption, they are very vocal, they finance be like, yo, wakitaka something wanataka, like, and it should be done for them. So in that sense, I see the spirit of the nation in Kenyans, how strong-willed they are. Of course, like, if we are to look at East African countries and be like, who is the giant of Africa, or who is the giant of East Africa, like, of course Kenya, be it money-wise, be it economy, be it with the people, be it having rich people in Kenya, be it everything. Kenya is better in East Africa, and I am proud that, okay, yes, I know we shouldn't be battling about these things, but I'm proud that we even have these things, because I mean, we have come a very long far as African countries. I'm super proud of Kenya. As a Ugandan, I know I am a coward. Uganda is a coward country, and we are not any close better to Kenya. So I really do appreciate Kenyan people, and it's of course the people that make the country. But like I said, we cannot have a conversation of who is the giant of Africa without putting South Africa there. Like, if anybody is competing for the position of giant of Africa, I'm so sorry, Kenya, musini kunje kwa comment section, lakini acha niongee tu. South Africa, Mzanzi for sure. Mzanzi, yo, we like to hate Mzanzi, but we love Mzanzi. And yo, I'm telling you, but it's the facts. You know, whatever happens in South Africa, Yani South Africa is just like our United States of America. The way you see America is the center of the world. South Africa is the center of Africa. Whatever happens in South Africa affects everyone on the continent of Africa. So if we are looking at who is the next giant of Africa, or who is the giant of Africa, if it's not Nigeria, definitely Mzanzi for sure. Yo, about South Africa, Nyabatanda. I love you guys. Kale rato la love. Even if I be here on the internet and talk nyoso and about Mzanzi. Mina Mzanzi is in my blood. Mzanzi taught me a lot. Mzanzi raised me. So, yeah. But tell me what you think in the comment section, ladies and gentlemen. Who is the giant of Africa for you? South Africa is the rainbow nation. Kenya is the pride of Africa. Uganda is the pearl of Africa. Ethiopia is the horn of Africa. Zimbabwe has its name. Zambia has its name. Everybody have their name. All right? So that is us African people. We must be proud of our, we must be proud of that. Let us stop fighting for other people's positions. Yo. But economy-wise and everything, like, yeah, if it's not Nigeria, it's South Africa. Kenya, you are the giant of East Africa and like Central Africa. But guys, I'll see you in the next video. But before I say a lot about Kenyans and then they come from yo, please,